They are so endearing. These familiar melodies from distant worlds somehow connect us together and cause our minds to flood with all kinds of memories and feelings. When we live in a world of ever-changing trends and passing fads, why would the first few notes of a little ancient carol from Germany or England or France warm our hearts and cause us to smile inside as the melody lingers? Many of us have never given any thought to how old our most beloved Christmas carols really are. Songs have been sung about the wondrous birth of Jesus for hundreds of years. Can you think of any other person in all of history who has ever been immortalized, esteemed, and revered through so much music? We have found songs regarding the birth of Christ that date back to the 4th century. I invite you to step back in time to a small country church in France. The year is 1760, and as you sit with your family on a wintry Christmas Eve, you just might hear something like this.
Christmas.
it's Christmas, the best known and best loved time of the year, when family and friends get together to reminisce of days gone by, to laugh, to love, to eat, to give gifts to one another, and maybe attend a Christmas performance or a candlelight service. Those of us who have grown up in church have watched the reenactments of the Christmas story change quite a bit over the years. We've gone from homemade costumes and props to wonderfully built sets and historically accurate clothing. Do you remember when you were a kid and you raided your dad's closet for a striped bathrobe so that you could play a shepherd? And you put a 6-foot robe on your 4-foot body. Remember wearing a paper crown covered in glitter to play one of the wise men? Or how even the most active, giggly little girls seem to have a calmness about them as they poked their heads through the cutout holes of their mother's white sheets and stuck a coat hanger down their backs trimmed in silver or gold tinsel for their lopsided halos, and borrowing someone's baby doll to represent Jesus. But everyone, young and old in the room, seemed to know who that makeshift manger really held and what truly mattered. That over 2,000 years ago, heaven came to earth. Deity put on the robe of humanity. May the story of the birth of Jesus never become so familiar that it no longer moves us or amazes us. On a night emblazoned by a magnificent star, a child was born like no child ever before, or since, or ever will be again. The birth of Jesus Christ is the single most important event in the history of the world. It is the crucial point of humanity, for all history up until that time moves toward it, and all history since that time moves away from it, making his arrival the very crossroads of time. And the world acknowledges this, for it sets its calendar by his birth. Christ coming down from his glory changed everything. All the kings of the earth, all the great and powerful leaders put together, have not affected the world like this child named Jesus. And mankind knows that he came. In fact, they're busy right now celebrating it. They know the name of the one who was born on Christmas Day, and they know where he was born. They even know the approximate time when it all took place. Most of them can even tell you about the various characters in the Christmas story. Although millions of people know who, when, where, and what took place, the vast majority of them still miss the meaning of Christmas. The real story of Christmas is why he came. Why Bethlehem? Why a manger? Why shepherds? Why wise men? Why would God become a man?
Call it all because He's more wonderful than my mind can conceive. He's more wonderful than my heart can believe. He goes beyond my highest hopes and fondest dreams. He's everything that my soul ever longed for, everything He's promised, and so much more. More than amazing.
prophet said he would be called Emmanuel, which means God with us. God who spoke everything into existence, the one who holds all there is in its place, left heaven and came to earth to become one of us. God, now as a man, tastes our frailties and our weaknesses, our struggles and our disappointments, what it's like to feel alone, to cry from sorrow and grief. Yes, he lived as one of us, yet he had a far greater reason for leaving his throne. He came from the glories of heaven because he so loved you and me, and he knew that he was the only one who could rescue us.